We're going to show you the bloodiest, goriest fighting sport ever.
He says, hey, we're going to do it. It took me a minute to digest what he was telling me was he was going to play me. Each fighter, regardless if they admit it or not, has X amount of fights in them, whatever that number is. Could be 50, could be 5, could be 10. The opioid crisis didn't exist back then. The one thing a professional athlete has to be is available.
What are the highlights of the story coming from you?
Redemption, hope, faith.
Hey Yetta, you know how much love and respect I have for you? Girl,
Ditto.
Why do I feel like I'm your best friend? I just met you.
You are merging of Oprah and Barbara Walters. There you go.
Joining us at the desk today is Emmy Award-winning journalist and anchor. It's Yetta Gibson, everybody.
Probably looking at my eyes.
How did that happen?
Well, have you ever heard of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the UFC?
That's the bloody thing they're trying to ban.
This guy is the best he has ever seen.
The UFC wasn't always as widely accepted or as popular as it is today. That was a clip from the Smashing Machine movie. This film follows the story of one pioneer fighter of the UFC. His name is Mark Kerr, a dominant force, undefeated for a while. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson portrays Mark in this movie. And while the film gives us a glimpse into his life, I sat down with him here in Arizona, where he lives, to explore greater themes of his entire story, before, during, and after the UFC and the big screen.
Please welcome in his octagon debut, Mark Kerr.
All right, you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's talk about your life.
That's a sordid tale.
No, you've got a great story.
Oh, thank you.
A story so good, Hollywood had to get its hands on it. But its journey to the silver screen started some 25 years ago at a Gold's Gym in Santa Monica. Long before Dwayne Johnson became The Rock, in fact, Dwayne was the fan, Mark was the star.
So he was a fan of yours.
Which is even crazy, right? He was doing pro wrestling, but his name was like Rocky Del Vita or something like that. He hadn't made it as the persona, The Rock. And so he was just trying to figure out how to make a living. He was actually asking me stuff about fighting. Because he didn't know if he could make it as a pro wrestler, and he knew I was a professional fighter.
So take me fast forward 25 years later, he calls you.
He says, hey, you know, we're tracking down your movie rights, your life rights. We're gonna do a movie. And it was one like it took a minute for it to kind of settle in, right?
You're like, Shouldn't
like
you have been like, excuse me, I'm sorry. You just said,
It's like, it took me a minute to digest what he was telling me was he was gonna play me.
Right.
Like you couldn't even put a dream together that would include him playing you. Because there was just nothing in my environment where I grew up that would give me an example of like, that's possible.
Right.
So why dream it? Because it's just not possible.
Right.
Mark's interest in fighting started when he was just a kid, holding mock fights with his siblings, and mock fights turned into high school and college wrestling, and eventually championships, titles, and medals. After graduation, he moved to Arizona and took up MMA fighting, where he dominated for years. He was so aggressive, he became known as the Smashing Machine. But with domination came some demons.
You know, I tell people it's like each fighter, regardless if they admit it or not, has X amount of fights in them, and they know that. They don't have one more or one less, it's just X, whatever that number is. Could be 50, could be 5, could be 10.
Right, but you know it's limited.
It's limited.
I'm wondering too, outside of the pressure to keep going, what was the big point of pressure while you were doing that? Because I'm pretty sure it's not what people think.
The point of pressure would be after I won a fight, I would have this little moment of reprieve where I felt like I didn't have to do anything, and then all of a sudden this thing in me would kick in where I felt I had to accomplish something else.
Okay, so it was never enough.
The question you ask yourself is, how competitive are you? What lanes are you willing to go to try to win?
A pivotal moment in Mark's life came in the 2000s when camera crews were following his every move for an HBO documentary. The doc detailed his fighting career, his relationship with his then girlfriend, Dawn Staples, and his silent abuse with painkillers.
One filmmaker, John Greenhall, was a friend of mine, and there was just a moment where he just like puts the camera down. He's just like, come, like you're not fooling anybody. Like, you're not fooling anybody. And nobody else on the planet knew.
Before that moment when the cameraman did that, did you know you were getting to a point where it was going to come to a head?
I knew it had to, because it was unsustainable. I just knew at some point there was going to be a reckoning, and I didn't know what it was going to be. I didn't know what it was going to look like. But I knew there was some point where I was going to have to pay a price for all that.
I want to talk about the painkillers.
Sure.
Because now that you are, how many years out of it?
A lot of years out of that, but as far as in recovery, like 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
So now that you are 7 years here,
Yeah.
when you think back to then,
Yeah.
what were you doing? Why were you doing that?
The opioid crisis didn't exist back then. The one thing a professional athlete has to be is available. And so I had to be available to fight whenever, and then I put additional pressure on myself. So instead of doing like the appropriate and right things that I should do, going to the doctor, going to physical therapy, doing all this, because that takes time, I would go, okay, well, if I just can take this, it kills the pain, then I can get through this workout, and then I can just figure out if I just climb one more, it'll be enough. If I win one more, then I'll be enough. And it's this never-ending hunt for something to fulfill you when it's not what you should be looking for.
What made you go, I gotta stop this?
When I overdosed. I was missing connection. I felt like I had to connect with people with accomplishments and objects and, you know, all these different things, and it's like, no, it was just the connection. When I was using and stuff like that and drinking, my behavior's not the best. Because it's self-seeking, self-absorbed. It's all about me, my needs, my wants, my things. And so you get to a place where you have the ability to make amends to people that you might have harmed. You know, it's like with my son. And so it's been this process of rebuilding the relationship with him, because at one point, when you have your own child that doesn't trust you, that's like, that was the reflection where I'm like, that hurt,
the dagger,
man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that hurt.
Yeah. You know what's funny? You're this big, tough fighter, but I'm getting teddy bear. I'm getting all teddy bear energy, cuddly. That's what I believe people wouldn't realize about you.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the Ultimate Fighting Championship?
What are the highlights of the story coming from you?
Redemption, hope, faith, and determination.
A redemption arc fit for the big screen. And it's no surprise The Rock took the opportunity to bring Mark's story to millions.
Out of that documentary over 20 years ago, if you're Mark and you're Dawn, you think, wow, that's how the world is going to remember me for that. At the end of that doc, that's it. We lose. But life goes on, and there was so much more to tell.
Are you and The Rock like besties? Do you text jokes and Instagram funny things?
Because you know what's crazy? So I say his ability to be completely present in a conversation he's like locked in, like there's nobody else in the room. What you have to say is important to him, and he wants to be completely present so he can hear, and it's listening without waiting for your turn to talk.
It's like hearing what you have to say and then asking the question. You know what? You're like that. I mean, I know I'm interviewing you, but you have that same type of vibe too.
Thank you.
I know, it's a huge compliment that I'm giving you, and it's true. How do you feel now on the other side of this? What is life like now?
Me and my wife have a company called Absolute Wellness. We design, implement, and install fitness equipment. We've expanded out to where we're doing recovery modalities like cold plunges and infrared and stuff like that.
Is there anything else that people would be surprised to hear?
God, you know, I write poems, but that's all. That's all.
Are you kidding me? Now that Mark has made it to the other side of his own struggles, he has some advice for any up-and-comers out there.
Off the top, there's no shortcuts. There's just no shortcut. There's no magic pill. You know, if you want to get from here to there, there's one way to do it, and it's the right way. It's easy to say it, but to implement it, to get from here to here, and you want to be a champion, the only way to get from here to here is hard work.
Mark is now in the UFC Hall of Fame, and he told me he has a book coming out soon, so keep your eyes out for it. It's gonna be good.
Sooner or later, you're certain to meet.
Kiss of a Spider Woman starred the great La Luna.
Big stars taking on big roles, but what's really behind celebrities like J-Lo and The Rock reinventing themselves? Coming up, we're going to weigh in on this topic and reminisce on successful celebrity reinventions.
I'm going to go to medical school. I love it and everything. But every year, my summer holiday, I'm coming back to LA.
Oh, I got you.
Study acting, go to acting classes and all that, because this is what I found myself, you know, in love with. I had to do both. I have to please my parents, have to please myself.
Oh, you don't want to miss this one. Rewriting the script of stardom with actor and doctor Mohamed Karim. Coming up, he's going to dish on landing Hollywood roles and making bold choices many folks would be afraid to even try. All of that coming up. Come on, guys. Come on. Welcome back. It is time for In the Chat. In this portion of the show, we're talking about celebrity reinventions. You know, when a celebrity wants to revamp or change their image or what they're known for. The Rock, J-Lo, just two stars taking on different roles in their usual ones. Like we mentioned before, The Rock in Smashing Machine is more of a dramatic role than we're used to seeing him in. Remember he was Maui? He's already reinvented himself once, from wrestler to actor. J-Lo is in The Kiss of a Spider Woman, a musical where she acts, she dances, she sings, as opposed to her typical roles in rom-coms. Here's snippets from interviews they have both done recently talking about these roles.
What I was chasing was box office. And there's a part of me, the brain, don't rock the boat, stay in this zone. Everyone's happy, paying the bills, but the heart, it's like, yeah, but you're not being fulfilled.
We all know that you sing, you dance, you act, all of that.
And I was, you know, floored when I read it. I thought to myself, this is something I've wanted to do my whole life.
Remember she was a fly girl?
Yes.
Yes.
And Selena.
She's done so much. This is interesting stuff. So joining me to dig into whether taking on these new roles really changed anything for them are our two in-house pop culture experts.
How about that?
We got Simone, we got Ian. Okay, let's talk about it, because there are a lot of celebrities who have done this.
Big time. We were talking about Drake.
Oh, yeah.
A former actor.
Yeah.
Turned into hit king.
Which I didn't even know.
Yeah, Degrassi was a huge show back in the day.
Do you think that it's necessary for people like J-Lo and The Rock to do this, or just anybody in their career who maybe started in one spot? Do you feel like it's something you have to do, evolve and become something else?
I think it's maybe part of the creative process. I think people just want to maybe get bored and they try new things.
Yeah.
And then we look at it and go, oh my God, why are they doing all that? And it's like they may be just trying something new.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when we see artists try a different genre. Like Taylor Swift started with country,
Beyonce.
and then she's saying with Beyonce, like try and do a different genre of music, because it's like you really have to evolve and adapt or you get left behind.
Yeah. You know what? One that's interesting to me is Snoop Dogg, because in a way he stayed the same, but he has just kind of dipped his toe in all the things, which has been very clever. When I saw him at the Olympics, I was like, wait a second.
Wait, he's an announcer now. What is going on? Marky Mark?
Yes,
Like,
because he was, all I remember
rapper.
is Calvin Klein.
Yeah.
Oh my
Calvin
gosh,
Klein
the
model.
best.
Yes, and he was a rapper, and he's a great actor.
Yeah, action. Then he does comedies and all sorts. Well, now he sells clothing and he does all sorts
Calvin
of stuff.
Klein. Okay, here's some others that I remember that producers
gave me that really reinvented themselves. Oh my goodness, Drew Barrymore.
Oh,
I mean, she was just a tiny little thing in E.T.
She was so cute.
And she's done tons of movies, and her talk show is one of the top ones out there.
Great.
Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Wait, let me think about this, because to me, he's just an actor. Another part of this is if you catch the celebrity, if they catch your eye, maybe in the second phase of what they're doing, you never know they did the first phase.
Yeah, he was in a stoner comedy, Dazed and Confused, and then did kind of rom-coms, but then he does like Dallas Buyers Club, which was like a super serious film.
Yeah, see, to me, he's just Matthew.
I know.
It's almost like he's
so
not an
lovable.
actor, he's just him.
Yeah.
So would you reinvent yourselves? Would you, I mean, you're news people, you're a weather guy, you used to be a news person.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
in a
I
way
used to
you
do,
did.
Yeah, I used to do serious news, covering crime and politics, and then I kind of got into lighthearted stuff, and so yeah, in a way, a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like every day I'm trying to reinvent myself. It's a never-ending gig.
It's definitely something you always think about when you're in this entertainment space, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Mace, rapper turned preacher, who was that?
Oh yes, he was with Puff Daddy. So he went from that to some really good bangers.
Yeah.
Right? And then
that was a reinvention. Montel Jordan.
I do believe
he turned into a pastor.
Maybe that's
I'm gonna be a rabbi next.
Seriously, I just said we could be rappers.
We can go on and on. We could be a rap.
We
be
could
a rap
start a
group.
trio.
Oh my gosh, think of names.
Rabbis.
Think of names while we go to this next stuff, guys. Thank you so much. Here's what's coming up.
I want to make sure that I do things outside the box. I don't want to do, if you're like Italian, you do that mafia. If you're like Middle Eastern, you're these bad guys. If you're a good actor, you can do anything.
In a world where Hollywood loves a label, actor and doctor Mohamed Karim refuses to fit the mold. We're going to tell you how he's rewriting the script of stardom, one movie at a time. Talk about a one-of-a-kind Hollywood story. In tonight's Not Done Yetta, you're about to hear from a man who defied family expectations and followed his passion. The journey has led him all the way to the silver screen, even sharing the big screen with stars like Nicolas Cage. He created not one, but two careers, a licensed doctor and a working actor in Hollywood. Meet Mohamed Karim.
I was born and raised in Cairo, Egypt, and just grew up over there until my last year in high school.
Okay.
And that's where everything changed in my life. Like the whole universe kind of like flipped.
What happened?
So my dad was, I think he was really smart enough he knows how valuable it is when you come over to US when you're in young age, right? And you learn a lot, and I was just blessed that I came during that, last year in high school.
He was 16 when he got to California, and there is where he discovered a passion for acting. But his parents, both doctors, were not on board at all with that plan.
So I went back to Egypt, but I had a deal with my parents. So I told them, listen, I'm gonna go to medical school, but every year, my summer holiday, I'm coming back to LA.
Oh, I got you.
I'm gonna go to acting classes and all that because this is what I found myself, in love with, right?
So you were in love with two things at once?
Yeah, it was really tough. I had to do both. I have to please my parents, have to please myself.
Okay, what kind of doctor are you?
Orthopedic.
So once you got into the entertainment field, you were a host of The Voice of Arabia.
Yeah.
And then you're also an actor.
Yep.
So you're doing just a little bit of everything in entertainment.
So what happened was, while I was a medical school student, I started, pitching myself, going to studios over there in Egypt. And so Egypt, it's a little bit of, it's Hollywood of the Middle East. When I had really good sort of like number of movies and series, I got approached by the network to host The Voice because they wanted somebody with a fan base and from Egypt, and it was like one of the best things happened to me in my career.
How are you doing all of this and successfully getting through medical school?
It's called Capricorn, baby.
Yeah.
I understand. You can do all the things at once. I get it.
Just try to do your best.
Yes.
Now, both a working doctor and a rising entertainment star, Mohamed hosted The Voice Arabia, won Best Actor at the Monaco International Film Festival, and has had films at Cannes. Mohamed also launched the cover of GQ, named Man of the Year in the Middle East. He headed back to California, Hollywood, determined to make it on the silver screen and not in roles you'd think.
Gunslingers, that's your latest movie. Tell me about that, because you were billed as the first Arab cowboy.
Can you imagine? There is no way I would have thought that I would be one of those actors that I grew up on and love, right? I had a sort of agreement with myself that I don't want to do any type of stereotypical roles in Hollywood. I want to make sure that I do things outside the box. I don't want to do, you know, if you're like Italian, you do that mafia. If you're like Middle Eastern, you do these bad guy. If you're a good actor, you can do anything.
Yeah, you don't want to be typecast.
Exactly.
Right.
If I succeeded, I can be of a lot of help for others, like sort of like a gate opener for other people in Hollywood. I want to do something that not a lot of people can do. Looking for someone legend like Omar Sharif. I want to be like the young Omar Sharif. You know, I want somebody to be respected in Hollywood as an actor. And to do that, you need to focus on what can you do, how good you are. And this is my sixth film, and none of my films in Hollywood were stereotyped.
That's awesome. You're just kind of navigating your own little trail and own little path.
I created my own opportunity.
Well, I like that you're bringing your culture to the big screen. That's important.
Thank you.
Yeah. Love him. You can watch Gunslingers starring Mohamed and Nicolas Cage on Amazon Prime, Apple TV, and YouTube. Thank you so much for watching this Arizona's Family original. You can connect with me on Instagram. There you will find more behind the scenes stuff with everyone you just saw. My handle's down below. We'll see you again real soon.
Ooh. Coming, well, do this and then say it, or say...
Say it and then clap it.
Oh,
now you got to say it and tell them again.
Tell me again.
Coming up on Arizona's Family Original with Yetta Gibson.
I'm Yetta.
Okay, I know, Yetta. I'll just go like this. I'm with Yetta Gibson.
There you go. Go!
So this is... I'm Mark Kerr, Arizona's Family Original with Yetta Gibson. Oh my God, this is that.
Coming up on Arizona's Family Original, Mark Kerr.